let me ask you something. What if that vitamin you're taking, the one you bought specifically for better circulation, is completely useless? It sounds a little nuts, right? But honestly, millions of people are making this exact mistake every single day. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole thing and get to the truth.
Look, I know that's a pretty intense question to ask. We all want to trust the labels we read. But what if the most critical piece of information is the one they're not telling you?
And this, right here, is the heart of the problem. There's a specific B vitamin that's famous for boosting blood flow. The catch? It comes in a few different forms, and a whole lot of people are taking the one that does absolutely nothing for circulation. It's time to clear this up once and for all.
Okay, first things first, let's dive into what I call the circulation lie. We're about to expose a huge misconception in the supplement world that's costing people their time, their money, and, most importantly, a real shot at feeling better.
You know that feeling? When your legs just feel heavy, almost like they're made of lead? Or your ankles are so swollen your socks leave those deep marks? What about hands and feet that are just always cold, no matter what? If any of that sounds familiar, I bet someone, somewhere has told you, oh, that's just a normal part of getting older. But what if it isn't?
And wow, Margaret's story just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Her experience is so common. See, she did her homework. She knew niacin was the right vitamin, but she was sold a no-flush version, which sounds good, right? Who wants a side effect? But nobody told her that by getting rid of the flush, you also get rid of the entire circulation benefit. It's like buying a hammer without a head.
So, how did this happen to Margaret, and how can you avoid it? Well, it all comes down to understanding that vitamin B3, or niacin, really has 3 different faces. This is where all the confusion starts, and today, this is where we're going to end it. For good.
You heard that right. You can walk into any health store, pick up a bottle that says niacin right on the front, and you literally have a 2 out of 3 chance of grabbing one that's totally useless for boosting your blood flow. The big name on the front of the bottle is not the whole story.
All right, take a look at this chart. It lays everything out perfectly. You've got no flush niacin, that's an acetylhexanicotinate, and then you have niacinamide. See what it says? Ineffective. None. The only one that actually works to open up your blood vessels is nicotinic acid. That's the name. That's what you have to look for on the back of the bottle in that little ingredients list.
Okay, so we've found our hero, nicotinic acid. Now let's get into the good stuff. Let's talk about why it works. What's the magic here? What makes this one so special?
It's really a triple threat. First, it directly tells your blood vessels to just relax and open up wider. Second, it helps calm down the inflammation that's making your arteries all stiff and cranky in the first place. And third, it actually ramps up production of this amazing protective protein called adiponectin, which basically acts like a bodyguard for the inner lining of your arteries.
And hey, this isn't just some nice idea. We are talking about hard science. Researchers at the world-renowned Mayo Clinic did a study and found that people taking the correct form, the nicotinic acid, saw up to a 27% improvement in blood flow in their smallest vessels. Think about that. Those are the tiny little pathways in your hands and feet where these problems usually start. A 27% boost is a game changer.
The key word for all of this is vasodilation. Just picture a garden hose that's gotten old and stiff and narrow. Vasodilation is like that hose suddenly becoming soft and wide again, letting the water gush through. That's what nicotinic acid does for your blood. And that famous flush, the warmth and redness some people get, that's actually a sign it's working. It's your body's way of saying, hey, we're opening up the floodgates here, and finally getting warm, oxygen-rich blood all the way to your fingertips and toes.
Okay, so let's say you've got the right bottle. You're ready to go. But wait, just popping the pill isn't the end of the story. How you take it can make a massive difference. In fact, you can actually amplify its effects by up to 43% with a super simple protocol.
And it's really just 3 simple steps. Step 1. Right when you wake up, get your blood moving a little bit. We're talking 8 minutes of easy stuff, like marching in place or doing some ankle circles. Step 2. Take your dose with some healthy fats. Half an avocado, a handful of peanuts. This really helps your body absorb it. And step 3, this one is so important, wait at least half an hour after you have coffee to take it. Caffeine can actually interfere with absorption. And if you think that last step doesn't matter, just listen to Robert. He was doing everything right. He had the correct nicotinic acid form, but he was washing it down with his morning cup of joe, which basically canceled out most of the benefits. All he did was change the timing, and boom, within 2 months, his feet were finally warm again.
All right, now before you rush out and try this, we have to talk about the final and, honestly, the most important step, doing this safely. This is a powerful tool, and you have to know how to use it the right way.
Okay, number one, and this is non-negotiable, talk to your doctor. I'm serious, especially if you're on any other medications like statins or drugs for blood pressure. Also, if you're considering higher doses, anything over 500 milligrams, that requires medical supervision, period. And finally, about that flush we mentioned. Remember, a little temporary warmth and redness is normal. It's not an allergic reaction, it's a sign that it's actually working.
This is probably the best way to think about it. The tiny amount of niacin you get in your multivitamin or food, that's a vitamin. But when you start taking hundreds or even thousands of milligrams to achieve a specific result like vasodilation, you're not just taking a supplement anymore. You're using it as a medical treatment, and it needs to be treated with that same level of respect and care.
So there you have it. You now have the information that, frankly, millions of people are missing out on. You know the 3 faces of niacin, you know which one actually works, and now you know how to use it safely and effectively. That old story about poor circulation being a normal part of aging? Well, the power to rewrite that story is now in your hands.